Las Vegas housing market is beginning to crack. Hey everybody, you're watching Bull, Boom, Bear, Bust. Today we've got a housing market update specifically focused on Las Vegas. Now, why Las Vegas? Well, Las Vegas was one of the cities that we've warned about many times over the past couple years, how home prices were way beyond the peak of the previous bubble. Now, it's like that in most cities, but Las Vegas was one of the worst. And we did see a big outflow of people from California moving to cities like Las Vegas for, at the time, what was more affordable housing. Now, Las Vegas is one of the most overpriced housing markets when you look at incomes. So let's take a look at what's happening with prices and sales in Sin City, Las Vegas. Sin City, it's a sin how much home prices cost there, by the way. But home prices fell to $465,000. That's down 3.1% from June. So from June to July, down over 3%. Now that's just 1 month. Now let's annualize that. 3% for 1 month, put it into 12 months. That is a very big drop. If they drop 3% every month, you're talking over 30% decline in a year if they continue to drop at this pace. Imagine buying a home and the price falls 30%. The value falls 30% in 1 year. Now, we haven't seen these translate yet into the final figures because these are recent sales prices. But when we start looking later in the year, we're going to start seeing year-over-year numbers in the negative if this continues. Now, let's put that into perspective. A 30% price drop annually, if this 3% monthly drop continues, and it's likely going to get worse as we get later into the year 2022, the fall and the winter. But a 30% drop on a $465,000 home, that's over $100,000 negative equity that someone's going to have in their home very quickly. Imagine 1 year in your newly purchased home and you're down or negative or underwater $100,000 on the mortgage. That's a walk away type of underwaterness or price drop, and it's not going to be funny for the people that bought at the peak of this bubble. Now, I'm not guaranteeing home prices to continue to fall. If things continue as they are, yes, prices will continue to go down. So we'll have to see what happens with rates, what type of rescue programs or prevention programs are going to be put in place. But if things continue as is, we're going to see deep price corrections in Las Vegas. And we're just looking at a couple months worth of data here. And for those of you newer to the channel, I've been warning for over a year that the second half of 2022 is going to be the time frame when we're going to start seeing this happen. And we're only 2 months into the second half of the year now, and things are playing out exactly like we have indicated they would for over a year now. Now, there's been a few people that have heard from me or that got the message from me that I said home prices were going to rise forever, like a forever price forecast. I don't give forever forecasts. So I don't get infinite forecasts. I'm pretty good as far as looking ahead the next year and a half. Anything 2 years or more, like looking out 100 years, that's not me. I'm not that. My crystal ball is not that clear beyond a year and a half. But for the past couple years, we told all of our viewers here exactly the time frame on when we're going to start seeing home prices come down the second half of 2022. If you've been on this channel, you know exactly the time frame, and you are ready for this. So will you be prepared to buy a home when home prices get to a more affordable range? If you are one of those people that have been waiting on the sidelines, if you're someone that's been renting or maybe just looking to move to a bigger home like myself, or maybe someone to look to add a different rental property or additional rental property to your portfolio, maybe someone looking to buy a second home, a vacation home. Now, we did see a lot of second home purchases over the past couple years, especially with the health crisis. People looked to get out of the city, and not everyone moved or relocated. A lot of people stayed put, but bought a second home in a city out in middle America. And that's why you saw some of these smaller cities also see big price increases. Example would be Boise, Idaho. All right, but back to Las Vegas. Home sales also plunging. All prices plunging, of course. The number of listings skyrocketing. So first of all, the median sales price peaked out at about $482,000. We're now down to about $465,000. This is just in a matter of a few months, folks. The number of sales also peaked right about March at about 3.5 thousand or 3.5 thousand, and now we're down to about 2,000 per month. So that's a drop of 1,500 sales per month just since March. The number of listings without offers also big time increase. It went from 2,000 back in January. Now the number of listings without offers has exploded now to nearly 8,000. So we're seeing major moves in the housing market, just as we predicted would happen. Las Vegas, one of the most overpriced cities. And it's not just single family homes, it's also attached homes or condos or townhomes. The average price of a townhome actually dropped $8,000 in July to a price of about $272,000. So even condos are feeling the effect of this in Las Vegas. Now, some people may say, JJ, it's only a couple months worth of data. It's not that big of a deal. Well, it is when you look back at Las Vegas over the past few years. Las Vegas saw month-to-month increases for 2 consecutive years. 2 consecutive years, every month during that time, home prices were up compared to the previous month. Now we're seeing 2 months in a row where prices are dropping. So it's definitely a significant change in momentum in this housing market. Now, here's the thing. Prices would have dropped even more if it weren't for investors. Per an article here out of Las Vegas Review Journal, the investors bought 30% of homes in July. So 1 in 3 homes were bought by investors. If it weren't for big investor money, cash, they were purchased for cash, then prices would have fallen even more. So my question to you, what do you think? Are these people that are buying these homes for cash, which are usually investors? It's rare that someone buying their first home is going to pay for it all in cash. It's mostly investors or people buying investment properties or second homes, things like that. People that are already cash heavy, so to speak. So my question, are these cash buyers, are these investors making a mistake? Are they catching a fallen knife? Or are they going to keep prices from falling further? That's my question to you. How much money is on the sidelines out there? Or are big investors pulling out of the housing market? I am seeing that in some cities. For some reason, Las Vegas is an anomaly. Still big investor activity, but even with that, home price is still taking a big dip. So is that a sign of things to come? If investors are buying this heavily, but prices are still falling this fast just in a couple months, that could mean pretty big drops and some bad news for people that bought homes in the past couple years in the city of Las Vegas. And other cities around the country are going to be seeing similar happenings to what's happened here in Sin City in Las Vegas. So hope everybody liked this update. Thank you for being here, for supporting me on this channel. Now is a very important time to keep an eye on the housing market, to keep up on this news. So please make sure you are subscribed, because you're going to be very, very happy at how accurate we call the markets here, including the stock market, the housing market, the economy in general. You're going to be very happy on our guidance here. Now, the long-term investment, that's something else that we're going to talk about in our next report. And that's when I say keep stacking. That's one of the main things I've been stacking. I'm going to talk about that here more very, very soon. Please like, subscribe if you like what we talk about here. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Keep stacking. Big love. Bye for now. Peace.